Shalom and welcome to Hebrew Bytes, Ivrit La'at La'at, lesson number 9. Ivrit La'at La'at, Shiur Mispar Tesha. We'll start with a blessing. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, by whose word with all its letters heaven and earth were made. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam shebara et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz bidvaro im kol ha'otiot. Amen. Well, welcome and shalom from Jerusalem. Our context of the lesson this week is the Torah portion, the parasha, VaYashev, and he dwelt. We'll take a look at the name, the title, and he went. Let's look at the letters. And is the conjunction, the little vav, which shows the and, yud, Yeh, Shev. Remember that the bet, if it's in the middle or end of a word, becomes a vet. So here we have the vet, Yeh, Shev, vet, Yeh, Shev. And he dwelt. Now the person it's talking about, of course, is Jacob, Yaakov. And he has been out of the land for 20 years, and now he's returned. And the word Yoshev, or the word that you see here in the title, the last two letters, Shev, is actually a word that means sit. So the infinitive of shev, sit, would be la shevet. And if you are using it in a sentence saying, I want to sit, I want to sit down, you would say, Ani rotza lashevet. The infinitive, as you remember, always has the lamed in the front. So, la shevet. If you say, I want to speak, ani rotza ledaber. Or I want to write, ani rotza. If you're a female, the feminine form is rotza. Ani rotza lichtov. In the present tense, it would be the present tense form of the verb would be I am sitting, ani yoshevet. If you're a male, a man or a boy, you would say ani yoshev. So if we're talking about Jacob, we would say Yaakov yoshev. Let's think of the masculine plural. If there's a group of men sitting, hem yoshvim. And for girls, hen yoshvot. So we have yoshev, yoshevet, yoshvim, yoshvot. Just looking at the different forms of the verbs. Now, if you'll notice, this is a standing joke in Hebrew. For who, if you say he is sitting, who yoshev. So who is he? And for a girl, he yoshevet, she is he. So who is he and he is she. And that's just the joke. So in this context, as we said, Jacob has returned to the land and he is dwelling or settling down in peace. So that Yoshev VaYashev Yaakov in the title, it didn't say he just came and sat down. In this context, it means he is settling down to dwell in the land. But sadly, we see that his peace is short-lived. With the disappearance and presumed death of his beloved son Joseph. Now, if you remember in the narrative, again we find the sibling rivalry between the brothers. And the older brothers, the 10 brothers, Achim are brothers, they gang up against this favorite young son of their fathers. Their brother would be Ach. So one brother is Ach, and many brothers, Achim. There's that lovely verse in the Psalms, Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Behold how good and pleasant it is, Yoshevet achim gam yachad, when brothers are sitting together and in harmony. So there you have the words, shev achim, when brothers are sitting together. Right, so they gang up on their one ach, little Joseph, and he is sold into slavery, into Egypt. He's taken to Egypt. Now, interestingly enough, the sages of Israel attribute the destruction of the second temple to sinat chinam, and that means baseless hatred. Because at the temple, the priesthood was corrupt, and the Sadducees were against the Pharisees, and there was a lot of corruption with the Hellenists and the purists in Judaism. So the sages say the reason for the destruction was sinat, which actually is from the word anger, and chinam is free. So it's just this free hatred. But actually is baseless hatred between brothers. I'd like to take a look at Joseph's name in Hebrew. Joseph's name in Hebrew is Yosef. There you see the Yud and the Vav with the Cholam, the dot at the top. You know that it's an O. Yo. And here we have the Samech, the lovely circular letter with the 2 dots underneath, telling you it's a sound, say, Yosef. And of course at the end of the letter you see one of the Sofit letters, which is a Pei Sofit. But what happens with a Pei, if it's in the middle or the end of a word, it becomes a Fei. So here it's a Fei. You don't say Yosef, it's Yosef. Yosef. And interestingly, Yosef's name is from the root lahosif, which means to increase or to harvest, to gather in the harvest, and which was fulfilled in his lifetime, because he was the one, he went from small to great, from a slave to the second highest ruler in Egypt. And he was very much involved with gathering all the wheat to provide bread and food for not only Egypt, but all the nations that were then in this terrible famine. So Yosef is a very interesting name. Let's look at some Dikduk grammar. Here we have the chart of the family. So we had Yitzchak as the father of Yaakov, but father in Hebrew is Av, and the affectionate term Abba. Mother is Em, or Ima. Son is Ben. Daughter, Bat. Now, we have spoken before about also the word for son in Aramaic is bar. So when a boy reaches bar mitzvah age, which is 13, he has his bar mitzvah. So you don't say ben mitzvah, but bar mitzvah. And a young girl, when she reaches 12 and is the beginning of womanhood, as it were, she has a bat mitzvah. So there you see the ben and bat. And of course, brother is ach, aleph, and chet, ach. And sister is achot. Now we mentioned the plural for brother is ach, achim, but the plural for sister is achi, achayot. So it's a little more difficult because you already have the achot ending in the singular, so it's achayot for sisters. Right. What we're going to do now is some looking at those beautiful illustrated cards and have a revision of the first 10 letters of the alphabet. Now, I hope you've been practicing, and we just have these first 10. If you just have the first 10 memorized already, that will be wonderful. So let's just do a little practice again. Here we have Aleph, and Aryeh is lion, Arnevet. Bet. Bet. We see the Barvaza with her Betza. Bet. Gimel. Aleph, Bet, Gimel. And Gimel is Gamal, the camel. Aleph, Bet, Gimel. After Gimel comes Dalet. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. And there we see the Dayag, the fisherman, and he has caught a dug, a fish. Not a dog like in American. He hasn't caught a doggy, he's caught a dug, a fish. After Dalet comes Hey. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Hey, Hodu. After Hey comes Vav. Vav, which is also the beginning of the word for rose, Vered, but it's also a very useful connecting letter, which is and. Oh, that's a nice tune. Here we have Zayin. After Zayin, we get Chet, the Chasidah. Chasidah is a stork. And after Chet, we get Tet. With the Tavas, the lovely peacock, Chet, Tet. And the final letter of the 10, Yud, is Yona, doves, and Yalda. So we have Yud, Yalda, and Yonim. Right, let's go through quickly all the 10 letters. And if you remember, we did do the little twinkle, twinkle, little star. So let's try doing that and see how that works. All right, let's go. Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Zayin, Chet, Tet, and Yud. And I'm sure I left one out. Let's do Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud. All right, now I hope you can do that on your own. It's just practice and saying it over and over until you've got it memorized. Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Zayin, Vav. See, I keep leaving out the Vav. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud. Right, we'll go back to the parasha where we see an interesting connection between heaven and earth. Hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Now, where does that ring a little bell? Remember Bereshit? It was Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So Hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz is the connection between heaven and earth. Now, in Joseph's two dreams, if you remember, the first dream depicted a wheat field that was harvested. So we see the earth, the fields, and they've been harvested, and then all the other sheaves of his parents and his brothers all bow down before his sheaf. And that was the first dream connected with the field and the earth. The second dream, what did he see? He saw the sun and the moon and the stars all bowing down to his star. Now so there we see the Shamayim, the heavens, and the earth, the wheat fields. Now, let's just look at that, because the Hebrew word for earth or land is Aretz. You know, we call Israel Ha'aretz, the land. It was the promised land, Ha'aretz. So Aretz can be a land as in a country, or the earth, Aretz. But the word for ground or soil is Adama. Adama. You can hear the sound carried through it. Adama. And that is soil. Now, we know that God formed man from the dust of the earth, from the Adama. And what was the name of the first man? Adam. We say in English Adam, but in Hebrew it's Adam. So you can hear Adam came from Adama, from the soil of the land. And the second dream he had was in the heavens, Bashamayim, and the sun, Shemesh, and the moon, Yareach, which symbolized his father and mother, Yitzchak and Rivka. And all the Kochavim, the stars, represented the Achim, his brothers. So there we have the heavens. Now, Jacob admonished his young son after the second dream, because you only bow down before God himself. So this was a very almost prideful dream if Joseph saw this happening. But at the same time, Jacob remembered Isaac remembered his own dream. Jacob remembered his dream of the ladder between heaven and earth as well. Remember Jacob's dream on his way when he was leaving the land? He encountered the place which he realized was the place of God, and he dreamt of the ladder connecting Hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. It connected the heavens and the earth. And here he saw in Joseph, his son Joseph's dreams, they were also the heavens and the earth. So he knew that his dream had played a great part in God's plan of redemption, and he likely wondered if Joseph's would as well. And as we know later in this story, they did. Right, let's look at the vocabulary. Milim. First, we see heaven, Hashamayim. And notice the double yud and the ending, Hashamayim. What does that remind you of? Maim, which is water. Soil, Adama. There you see the Aleph, Dalet, Mem, He. Adama. Cultivated field or fields is called sadeh, and plural sadot. Here we're using the samech again. See samech, dalet, he. And it tells you it's feminine because you see the ot ending, which in general means indicating it's a feminine noun, is sadot. Sadeh, sadot. Family, mishpacha. Mem, shin. Now here, funnily enough, can you see something interesting about the pei? You don't use the fei, it's mishpacha. Mishpacha. And why in this case? Because listen to the first syllable, mishpacha. So under the sheen, you would find a shva. Remember the shva stop sign. So the word is stopping there at the sheen. So it's almost as it is beginning again with the second half of the word. So you've stopped at mish, so now you're starting again. So the pei stays a pei. Mishpacha. The next one, the sun, shemesh. Shin, mem, shin, shemesh. And the moon, yareach. Yud, resh, chet. Ya, reach. Star or stars. Kochav, kochavim. Notice here we have the kav at the beginning of the word, kochav. So the kaf becomes a chaf, and then the bet becomes a vet at the end of the word, kochav and kochavim. So what does that tell you about a star? Is it masculine or feminine? It's masculine because it has an im ending in the plural. Kochav, kochavim. Is dream masculine or feminine? Let's take a look. Chalom, chalumot. So you see the ot ending in the feminine, in the plural, tells you it's feminine. So chalom, chalumot. Next one, masculine or feminine, the gods. One god, many gods. Shomer, shomrim. So again, it's a masculine noun. And don't worry about, you just learn as you go along. From recognizing the words and using them, you begin to realize which are masculine and which are feminine. So this is just a little clue. Usually you can tell by the plural ending if it's masculine or feminine. Shomer, shomrim. And the last wonderful word, holy, kadosh. Kadosh, kuf, dalet, vav, shin. Kadosh. And it's also masculine actually because you say kadoshim. Kadosh, kadoshim. The Holy of Holies is called Kadosh, Kadoshim. So there we have our words for today. Please practice. I hope you starting your dictionaries, and you can fill these in as well. and keep practicing your Aleph Bet and writing, and we'll say Shalom Shalom from Yerushalayim. Until next time, Shalom.